Hi there, everybody. It's me, Cassie. I tried live streaming earlier today and my video was taken down 5 times manually. Someone immediately flagged me and said I went against YouTube terms. So I am going to try and just record this and upload it. I did take a photo earlier and I had started to edit it, but I figured I would just start fresh because I had done everything in EEP, showed you guys how to do the poser and all that stuff, and I was doing stuff for Summerfest and chatting, so I figured I would start this again. Honestly, I did the live stream just because I was feeling a little lonely and sad, and I was just hoping for company. And instead, I got purposely kicked off of my channel. I don't know. I feel a little bullied, and it sucks. And I'm not quite sure what to do, so I'm just gonna take it with a grain of salt and just get back into trying to take this photo. So I'm going to do it again, start it all over, see how it goes. And yeah. So I'm using a Fox City pose. Come on, let me sit on it, please. And it is called Loco. And it is just a sitting pose. And I am using, it's not the most up-to-date viewer. I think it's 2.8. And they have more updated ones than the one I'm using, but I figured I would just use this one for now. I did hit Control-0 quite a few times, and I will go through all of my settings real quick so that you can pause and copy if you'd like. You don't have to, but I figured I'd just show you them real quick, so if you want to use them, you can. If you don't, that's also completely fine. So we have my quality options. I'm not going to explain it. I'm just going to pause it, so I'll be a little quiet for a minute while I let you look. If you ever have any questions on anything, make sure you check out their blog as well as their Discord group. They do have a lot of answers in their FAQ and also on their blog. So if there's ever anything you're confused about, like why your objects sometimes disappear after a certain amount of time, or why some things alpha out, or people are jelly dolls, etc., they explain all that stuff and how to fix it. Like I can explain right now, it's why I have my object surface at 0 as well as my max avatars visible. I don't think meant to do that. That's just to hide people. But the object surface 0 helps with keeping things from disappearing. If it's at 0, that means that it's like showing like the complexity thing. If you set that to 0, it won't continually pop up saying people can see you now, etc. So, anyways, I have my pose set. I have my feet in point position on Maitreya because I like to do that. I prefer to do that when on your knees for poses. I feel like that just looks better. And let's also go to F1 because you can also, this is how you do a quick preferences. You can just open it up this way. And again, if you want to pause it and just copy it this way, you can do that as well. I do have chromatic strength on, but I'm going to turn that off just while we are editing our pose and our wind light. This is the wind light I already made, but I'll just do a new one just so I can show you guys EEP and how the new lighting works for it. Oh, my dog is dreaming. If you hear like little hiccups in the background, that's her. Okay, so, okay, F1. I have my focal length off just for now, just so I don't crash while I'm messing with this. So we are going to mess with the poser first before we get into the EEP, just because a lot of these moments right now in my pose are bothering me. So I am going to mess with them. I do need to like adjust my neck and stuff because it's like broken looking. I don't like it. So let's see how it looks from the side because that's what I actually care about because I wanted to do a side photo. Yeah, see, look, it's all broken. Gotta figure out how to fix that. Probably gotta adjust. Like, look how broken that is. That's crazy. Huh. It is the moment I lower my head. Like, it gets all wonky. So maybe I need to also mess with my chest and torso. We'll see. I might just have to move the actual scale of my neck too. Or I'll do like what I did with the photo earlier and liquefy it severely. Well, let's mess with the scale first and see if that helps. So, kinda. Not really. Go back to rotating. That's a little better, but it's just odd. Let's go back to the scale on the neck and maybe lower it a bit. Mm-mm. Nope. Okay. Oh well. Anyways, I'll mess with it in Photoshop. Let's also fix our shoulders because they are a disaster. I just want to... Oops, I still have scale on. Ah! Let's go to rotation. So I want to fix the shoulder because they just look so concave and it's bothering me. So we're just going to do that and bring them back out to like normalcy. Mess with the elbow. Let's bring it up. We'll cup ourselves around the waist. There we go. Wrist down. Rotate it a bit. A little bit more. And down again. The poser is pretty cool. They changed it where you can only pose yourself. So that's a bit of a bummer, but that's how it is. They wanted to comply with Linden Lab terms as much as possible, so that's what they did. Let's lower this shoulder a little bit. Lower. There we go. And I'm pretty much just going to hide this arm because it's way too wonky for me to want to mess with. If you want to check out my other Black Dragon live streams, I know they're long, but they are pretty fun to do. Like I enjoyed them. I don't know if you will, but I enjoyed recording them, and hopefully you guys enjoy watching them. Ooh, that arm is a mess. That elbow though. I'm gonna move my arm down because that is just bad. It's terrible bad. So the wrist. Bring it down. Hopefully they bring my live stream back up. I filed a form to try and bring it back, but like I filed an appeal. We'll see. I'm not confident. Oof, I messed up my collar. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I'm just gonna hide both arms. I'm gonna be like how if you draw an anime character and you don't know how to draw hands, you just hide them. I'm gonna do that today. Okay, head up. So the whole reason I did this is because I went to Summerfest. I got a bunch of stuff there, and I figured I would showcase it. Like, my favorite thing was definitely the goosebumps from Izzy's. I have them pretty low, and they're underneath her sand, so you can't see it super well. Like I might even have to like do a second layer with and without the goosebumps. Oh no, you can see them now. Okay, cool. They're very, very, very subtle, but I like them. Okay, I froze a bit. Alrighty, let's open our mouth a little. I'm gonna do upper lip, upper center, as well as upper left and right. So my lips look like they have some fullness to them. And then also corner left and right, because we're not emo. Let's smile a little bit. Just a little. And I'm going to rotate me now, and then we'll start working with the EEP in the wind lights. So I'm not going to do too much. I'm not going to show you guys how to make a custom sun or anything, just because I haven't even messed with that yet. That's still new to me. But I figured we could at least look through how the editing wind lights looks now, because it's different. So we're going to go to Sky Editor, and now we have atmospheric and lighting, sun and moon, and clouds. So they did change things around just a little bit. So now they have X and Y axis for the sun and moon, which I think is pretty cool. You can show the beacon to show exactly where the sun is pointing. So if you want it to point as a specific angle, you can do that easily by moving where you want the sun to be aiming. I think it's pretty neat. You can do the same with moon if you're using your moon. I'm not. So let's mess with glow. Glow size. So this is pretty much like the sun size, as well as the intensity of it, like how far of the distance that you want it. We still have our density multiplier. We still have our distance multiplier. So it's a lot of the same stuff still. It's just reorganized, as well as just different from having like the daytime thing. You have the X, Y, and S now. Although I haven't really figured out what the S does yet. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know. I'll learn it eventually, and then when I do, I'll do a full video on it, like as a tutorial instead of just me editing. So let's mess with the ambient lighting a little bit. Let's go for something cooler than what I had, because that was like more tan. I'm gonna go a little darker. But raise my distance a little bit. My density. Once you close out of this too, the beam goes away. Just so you know, it doesn't stay there. It turns off automatically. Then let's mess with our sunlight a bit. Okay, if anyone knows how to fix these eyelash alphas, let me know. It's really annoying. Okay, so we have this set. I might still mess with my hips a little bit, or I'll just do that in Liquify as well. I do want to move my shoulder a little bit more in Poser. But it's neat. I like this. I like how this wind light setup looks way more than how it used to. I feel like it takes a little bit of time to get used to it, but once you do, it's pretty neat. It just takes a little practice. I think I need to mess with my collar a bit too. There we go. And I'm going to turn my head just a little more and my eyes lowered to look at the camera. Okay, I think I'm almost done with it. I don't want it too low. I want to be able to still see the whites of the eyes. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to take this. Let me just raise my chromatic strength again, as well as, that just adds like the little red and blue lines to make it look a little 3D, as well as my focal length, now that I have it all set. Make sure it's not too blurry. It's a little too blurry. And snapshot, save to disk, and I'm going to raise it to 4000. And that'll immediately take away a lot of the depth of field that was overwhelming. And we'll save it. Okay, so Black Dragon vid. And now we'll open up Photoshop. So I'll close out of this while I do that. Look at that, that's so scary looking. Okay, there we go. And now let's open up our Photoshop. Okay, So my neck is still a little weird here, so I'll mess with it in Liquify. I guess it's not that bad once you rotate, but still. I'm going to hit Control J, and I'm going to go into Liquify anyways and mess with his shoulder because that is a mess. It's a little broken. Zoom in a bit. Go to 100. Also pull that in a little. You don't have to do this. I like to do it. I just like to add like a little bit more of like the realistic curves and stuff. I have a very petite avatar, so I try to give her petite proportions. I forgot to show what I was wearing. Sorry, guys. I'm wearing a ton of Izzy's. You can see the goosebumps here. That's pretty cool. Some Vichy as well, like the blush is Vichy. I'm wearing these little bite marks. That's from Cureless. I've been wearing them like constantly now for a little while. What else? What else? What else? Gotta smooth that out a little bit better. I'm wearing Barber Yum Yum hair and hair base. I have Avi Glam eyes on. I'm still wearing, oh, look at them yellow teeth. I'm still wearing Pink Fuel skin. This is Tetra. This is an older item. It's like a few years old. I think it's from Summerfest a few years ago. Okay, so I just tweaked it a little bit. I didn't do too much. Just to kind of fix that shoulder as well. I need to fix it a little bit more. It's too forward now. Just move it back a little bit. Undo everything I literally just did. Sounds good to me. And then I want to mess with the thighs a little bit too. Give them some curve to them. If you ever have too intense of a brush, just kind of copy what mine is at. I might even lower mine a little bit because it's still a little intense, but it's always good to go lower and then raise it a little bit to your comfort zone. Okay. Alrighty, so now we can actually start messing with our dodge and burn. So let's do that now. I have it on midtone at 17. And I'm just highlighting my legs, my chest, my stomach, all of that. I'll leave this photo in the description, so if you guys want to mess with it as well, you can, or do it to your own photo, you are welcome to. Gonna bring back my cleft chin because it disappeared a little bit with the burn. I also really like adding like smile lines manually instead of using any tattoo layers. So I haven't really found one that like specifically works for me. Okay. I've been trying to make my own tattoos though. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Like this tattoo down here I made. So if you ever want a copy of it, I'll put it on the marketplace for like 10 linen. And y'all can have it if you want. Can't see it super well, but there's like flowers and stuff. I like it. I just made it my main because like I had another tattoo that was my main and I was hoping that she would make it into Bakes on Mesh and she didn't. So I figured I would just make my own. And I'll keep working on it. I want to make a few more of my own tattoos. Smooth this out right here. Get rid of that alpha line that's so annoying. As well as the ear connection here. Make that seamless. And then I need to make it a little darker too because ears aren't that light. Oh, I also need to fix this. This is bad. Desaturate our teeth. I'm just desaturating my teeth and making them way less green yellow because they were like lime green. That's not a pretty look. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of lightness to it, nothing too dramatic so it doesn't look super fake. Oops. Just a little. Okay, let me resize, please. Thank you. Okay. I feel like I had my chromatic strength just a little too high because I lost a lot of details like in my eyes and like the teeth turning yellow and stuff. I don't think I needed that. So that's a little bit of a pain, but it's fine. Okay, let's zoom back out. Then we'll start messing more with our actual lighting, because I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. Okay. I'm not going to crop it or anything. I'm happy with the sizing of it. But now let's mess with our exposure and gamma correction. Let's also mess with our curves. I'm going to mess with the RGB first and just kind of change it around to a color that I like, make it a little bit more kind of post-apocalyptic, I guess. Not as bright and summery as one would expect, more kind of moody. Yeah, moody is a good word for it. Okay, and now we'll mess with the RGB itself. Here we go. I like that. I'm going to move the exposure above it though so I can still get that kind of like dulled out darkness. And I'm also going to mess with selective color. I'm going to go with the neutrals first and again just kind of tweak the lighting. I'll do it with the blacks as well. And yellow. I feel like I'm a little too orange. And I proceed to make myself more orange. Yeah, let me mess with the reds and see if that'll help. Yeah, I wanted to be a little bit more red instead. Here we go. Better. Okay. I'm going to lower the brightness just a little bit. Raise a bit more contrast. And then I'm going to go back in with my dodge tool just to bring out some shadows again that I lost. Some of the details, like on the bathing suit itself. Down the thighs. Shoulder. The face and the hair just a little bit. I like that you can actually see like the clouds and stuff. That's pretty neat. It's a new part of the EEP as well. Just more details in it. It's pretty cool. I'm going to add some sharpening to the teeth here. So I think they look pretty cool and they should stand out a bit more than they already are. As well as my face right here, just this part. Okay, I'm almost done. I didn't want to do too much with this. I am going to go to gradient map and then make it be luminosity just to kind of add a bit more of the shadows again. But I'm going to lower the opacity of it. I don't need it that severe. And raise the saturation just a little bit. Subtly. Very, very subtly. Nope, don't like it. Okay. And we're finally just going to filter, sharpen, filter, add noise. No, let's do blur, lens blur. And we'll do a square, build up the radius a bit, specular highlights. I don't really see what that does, but oh yeah, no, don't want that. You could do that for like a second layer and then adjust it, but yeah, add a bit more noise. That should be good. Quite a difference. It changed quite a lot. I wish I had kept my jaw as it was, but it's fine. Yeah, I think I like it. Maybe. I don't know. I'll probably adjust my exposure a little bit more. And I kind of like it without the curves. Let me lower the curves just a little bit, like halfway. And then exposure, let me lighten that just a little bit more. And I'm going to also put some light over here on the right hand side. And then I'll be done. Screen. It's right here. So that's where the sun is coming from. And then multiply for some light on my face and shoulders with some reds. Okay, yeah, I think I'm done. Now I'm just gonna go curl up and cry over the live stream. So I will see y'all later. Bye, guys.